Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
And good evening, Mr. Young.
Mr. Young? Who's called Mr. Young?
Oh, sorry, Mr. Webb.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I thought you could see somebody we couldn't then.
And also Mrs. Webb.
Thank you very much.
Now it's going to be an evening of trance with Mr. Alan Webb from Oldham. And so I'm going to introduce him now, give him a warm welcome, and you're going to stand up and tell us...
No, I'm going to sit down and tell
Oh, you're going to sit down. All right, well, whatever.
All right, sit down.
Come on.
Right, just give you a brief explanation, because trance is it's a thing that you hear and read about, and unless you're involved in a very, very good circle, it's something you don't come across. You may come across overshadowing in different circles, just like this lady said. In different circles, and this is the thing that you've probably come across, where there would appear to have been a trance taking place. In 95% of the cases they are overshadowing, they're nothing more than that. There is a big difference. Now, well aware that a lot of people have never seen a trance demonstration, and there is absolutely nothing to be apprehensive about, to be frightened about, or I don't walk on the ceiling, I wish I could. I won't spin around with that or anything like that. Trance basically is an altered state of consciousness. Now people, wherever we've gone all over the place, try to ask me many things about trance. But the main thing is with anybody who's learning, practicing or developing this, is there comes a point when you're developing this that more or less takes a lot away from people, where they decide not to pursue it further, because in every case that I've ever come across when I've talked to people, there comes a point where you go and it's like a chasm, and this chasm appears, and it's, can you allow yourself to be taken across that chasm and hopefully be brought back? That is when the great doubt appears to people. However, with myself speaking personally, this phenomena happened to us long before we knew about spiritualism, long before we knew about mediums, before we knew anything about this. It just simply happened, and we went along with it, and of course it bore great fruit to us. Now, one thing I would mention to you is that we have what used to be called in the old days a doorkeeper, now called a control. Words change as we go forward and progress. So we have a control who is an excellent control, and he will not let anyone come through who he doesn't feel is right. And he's called Sander. I said this many times, it's S-A-A-N-D-A, and he is totally in control once we start. And so you will find that he comes in intermittently. He will always come in before, so he allows someone else, provided we can get someone else through, and then he will come in the intermediary stage as well. We can never tell when we set off. I said to Pat when we were coming here tonight, it's always lovely to do these because we never know how it's going to be. We don't know what's going to happen in that sort of context, and we don't know how many are going to come through. We've had as many as 7 come through, so it's in your lap. And I say it's in your lap quite casually, but it isn't casually really, because it is your energy. It's your energy that's used to do this and create this phenomena. It is the energy that you give off and that the spirit will reap and utilize it. I've been very fortunate in as much that I've seen this energy, else I don't think I wouldn't be doing it in public. They showed it to me first of all and then said this is what we do, and it was absolutely fascinating. There's a little snatch, if you want, I think it's on next Tuesday night, about phenomena on this planet, and I just saw a little snatch of it last week when it was given a preview, and part of it, there's like a storm inside a cloud where the light is inside the cloud, and that is exactly how the energy looked. It was absolutely wonderful. It lit a fully darkened room up and shot across all over the place, so I know what energy's used because I've seen it. So you need I feel, you see, everybody in here, one way or another, will be affected. Okay, we'll get a percentage. You will say that's a lot of nonsense. That's fine. That's okay. Get on with your lives. That's fine. But some people will be affected more physically as well. You may find yourself a little bit lightheaded afterwards. Some of you. I don't want to be suggestive about this, but this can and does and has happened. Another little thing I will mention first is that you will find that as Sander is coming in and out, you will hear a language of which you have no knowledge. We've tried to have this transcribed. We have had certain words of it identified as Sanskrit, which is the oldest language known to man from a physical sense. Because, you know, basically what they're doing is converting thought to sound. This is how we communicate in this life. We communicate by creating sound through thought. If we did not speak to one another, thought would not vanish. It would still be there. You are thought. You are the creative energy of yourself. And so basically what happens in a trance is that I just allow this changeover of identification, as it were. Afterwards, what we do is we will have a little natter afterwards, a little questions and answer thing, in which I will ask you different things and I will encourage you to ask me. And also, as I say, encouragement, I'm being nudged here, that you will find that the Spirit will want a response from you. And they are just like yourselves. They are thought, and they are energy, and they are real as you are. And therefore you will be asked to respond in that way. That you will have laughter, I've no doubt. We have never yet done a demonstration where there's been no laughter, because laughter is the essence of the gods and will create a greater vibration. I'm already beginning to feel very strongly. But you know, I will say this, also two things. The preparation for this didn't happen this last hour or this last 10 minutes. I started preparing for this once I woke up this morning. So that's been a long process to do it properly. Another thing, that once we're away and once everything's okay, then you can play a big drum. It doesn't matter what you do. You can drive a car through here, a truck through here. It doesn't matter. I'm not worried about that. What I will ask you to do is, once they have withdrawn, as it were, and during that period, that withdrawal period, and the other period of me having a conscious state again and being aware of you, then I would ask for complete silence, please, because it reverberates through like you wouldn't believe. And if should we have any noise, it can take me as much as 3 hours to pull myself together. So it is quite serious at that stage. If there is a serious nature, it is that. Other than that, quite briefly, before I do start now, it is based on I will be aware of part of this procedure, make no bones of that. Depending on your energy, it will depend on how much I'm intent and involved with it. Because we've had some lovely energy from people that they've took me on coloured rays, and sometimes I go on these rays and then I come back and it seems, and I can just keep a check on me, as it were. So at any one stage in any time that we're here, there may be a proportion of that, or there will be a proportion of that. To what degree depends on the energy that was emitted from yourselves. Will depend on how long that period is. So I don't know, I'll just leave it in the lap of the gods and leave it with you, and leave it mainly to the Spirit love.
Now we're going to have a trance demonstrations with questions and answers.
We'll tell you when to ask the questions. They will speak first.
So I'll leave it in your care and keeping then.
Fine, thank you.
Boine Cassandra, Basti Satan, Shintukosanda, Moses Kanda, Moses, Shikata, Mausa, Shandabo Sanda, Sanda comes.
Welcome, Sander.
Good evening, peoples.
Good evening.
It's very nice to see you. We have one very quickly with you, coming to serve you. Ustanda, boy, stand out. How do? How are you? All right. Any Yorkshire folk here? Haven't we got any Yorkshire, wench?
Are you from Yorkshire, love? They generally speak a bit louder than that, they come from Yorkshire. Well, it's grand to see thee anyway. It's grand. What a grand do this, haven't you? I'll tell you what, I wonder where that goat was coming from thee. Oh, I wonder, I thought, where's that goat coming from? There must be somebody from Yorkshire there. That guilt to see, that all guilt from Yorkshire. It's grand talking to thee anyway, lass. Wonderful. Oh, where did that come from, lass? They don't come from Barnsley?
No.
I come from Barnsley, me, then, all.
Not far away.
Oh, I know that down road.
Yes.
So I'm told. I forget them, then, all. They forget them. When they're here so long and they forget. It's a funny how they do, but they just forget. What they say sometimes is, my mum spoke to me, my pa spoke to me, and I've seen them, and then this, and they get embroiled to see what's happening at Spirit Leap, because they get so involved. There's so much to do and so many things that they can get involved in, to see. They joins together, they unites, and they comes together and their functions all place. And I'll tell you something else. I know. There's one or two of them questions I'm going to ask, and I'm going to answer. I know we get involved as we get a bit deeper, to see. We like to talk a bit deeper. Then us.
You're so involved, you haven't introduced yourself tonight.
Just know. You know, when I were here, I mean, I Billy were here, and we thought and cat, and wife, we used to go out at road, you know, we used to go, I shouldn't do a call round and talk to wife, we never got on a right lot. Anyway, sometimes they knows, she's grand lass really, they knows, but sometimes she sounds a bit like wife, they knows. Well, I'll tell you what I'm called Arthur Bellamy, you see, and I had a son in Spirit called Billy. Billy hadn't seen him for a while because he'd been doing away from me. But we used to work together when I first come over here, and we'd done a lot together. And then somehow, well, I went a different pathway, and he did, and all. But now and again we keep in touch. It's out to see. All we have to do is think, and they can get in touch with one another. Right easy. It's as simple as that, really. And all. But anyway, I haven't seen him for a while. I don't know where he'd get him to. Wife and I seen her and I asked. I don't bother about her somehow. I don't know. As I said, there's reason. I think reason we come together to get out of Billy. Because we think get on all right, me and our Billy. But who had I seen her? I don't know where she is. Never mind. She'll be somewhere. I reckon somebody will be looking after her. Sure, the good said now. Sunday coming, yes. We leave Hampton now for a while, yes. Can we progress? Could question the lady here? Question, please. No. Krishinda, pushta.
Yes,
Maisto Kunsanda, please. Mausta.
How many times have you walked the earth?
Pesha Gonzalez. This one? Sanda.
yes.
Sanda Kudodono. Never.
Never.
Never come here to this place.
You've never walked the earth?
Never come to
You've
this
always
place.
been spirit?
Always. We're talking with you. When we're talking with you, please. Yes? Send us a question now, yes? When we're talking with you on these questions, yes? You have always been spirit. You are spirit now. You have inhabited the earth. What do you call it? Earth plane, yes? You have companionship with the earth at this time with you. You know relative time only because you're here. You are aware of one life force every time, only one, please. When you go into the spirit light, you will be aware of the spirit light. Before you came here, you were spirit before, and so you were aware again of that essence. These dominant things, which is progressive to you, of earth circles, you call them worlds, yes? There are more than this one. Please think not in your minds, spirit is just encapsulated by the earth core. Spirit is enraptured by the whole context of life itself. You yourselves are, you exist. You are, you do not die. You cannot be killed. You cannot cease to be. You are an essence of what you term God. You are a natural phenomenon of life itself, and therefore will have many identifications within that frequency. Many adventures lie before you even in the nature of what you term this spirit light, to this planet. Within that fulcrum, there will be encapsulated to you many adventures into the light. You will be born into the halls of learning, for instance, which represent all things, all natures, all divinities. The higher of the highest ones, who teach these things within such places, shall become your teachers, the learned ones. You shall walk through the valleys of the Spirit, where sound effervescence, where colour frequents all things. And yet, none of these are tangible, as they would be here. They're intangible, because they're in the thought forces, and remain constant within that line. You ask if we walked this place now, but Sanda has walked many such places as these, and will continue to do so on his evolution way as he goes outward towards the great light. Sanda, another question, please.
What's it like over the other side?
You're the one fucking da. Always like he's da. How do? Other side of the wheel, love. It's all same side, I see.
No. I'm just reading the questions.
I know, I'm only telling you, I know. Just see, they said what's to the side, they know. How many folk here that thought grass were green up to the side till they went to the side? It weren't any greener, just see. No, let's open this, I'll tell you, we'd open it up, didn't I? We can open these things up, just see. Sometimes simplest questions get the best answers. All right. What like know about this? Now then, what happens is this. Just see, thought is thing. There's a secret to life and secret to plan. Folks say, what's the plan? They knows, what's the plan of things? Life's plan. Then to the side of what? Life. They ask for here, for instance, when they comes into this light, and they come by choice, don't think somebody pushed me through. We're not like one of Robert's dogs, they know. They push me through, they wants to come, and they want to be part of it, and they wants to learn about this. Just see, when they comes here, they has no thoughts of greed and power. There's only a love thought. Then they comes through. They're born at the child to love. They're born through love. They're created through love. It's all to the things that upset them when they get through, as they're good learning and picking up things. And people would sooner do malice than do good. Because somehow some folks seem to laugh because they does good. So they goes to the road because they don't want to be laughed at. How many folk, this place must be full of folk, not just this place, the world I'm talking about, the world that they have here, this side, if they want. It's full of folk who won't do good because they might be laughed at. All they have to do is best they can. Handle life as best they can, go through life as best they can. And they'll find that love will override all these other thoughts. So there must be folks saying, what's it like on that side? They won't come here yet. Just see? So to the side and this side, they won't say really, it's up to thee. They can make it, they can make heaven on earth. All they have to do is alter their thought. Can't see that. And when they get on what they call to the side, if they want reborn again, if they want, they're reborn through love. And that met be love. But they won't get greed and avarice, or what they call to the side, because that's purity of spirit, does see. It's only man, in his essence, how he's created himself, that's caused up fraction that's here. We know this place has been upset. We know the world's been upset, or what's happened. We know all about this. Man's done that. Man himself. Yon man's getting a lot to ask for. They call it about retribution. Yon man, he been torment for, well, there's no time, it's spirit like. But then those people, folk walk about. His spirit, shall I tell you something? His spirit, then those people will say, where's yon man going? And just so they come into spirit, these folk, who've done these wrongs and these deeds that don't do out for any folk. They don't even out themselves. And when they come to spirit, them sort of folk, they're always rolling forward, they're rolling forward, they always seem to come rolling forward, and we don't touch them, we let them roll forward. And they go forward, they see, and they go round and they go in like a black stream. Now we have to watch them, we have to watch them, we have to guide them. And then they finish up, these folk, in a big black pool. Now I know we're near that place called Blackpool, and that Blackpool has nothing to do with it. This Blackpool that Spirit Light. No. Would they like to know what happens there? Because we can tell you.
Yes, please. Yeah.
What happens with you? Take young man for instance, right? Well, take young man. There's a lot of young men in that big black pool afloat. Now, even with young man there'll be somebody there. Even with him there'll be somebody there watching. And what they'll do then, because me and Billy used to do this then, when we first come into Spirit, we used to follow them down that black river. And when they get settled, they settle somehow in this big black pool then all. And the helper will go to them. And what the helper will do then, he'll leave a bit of himself on it. He'll leave a bit of his light on it if they want. They won't be able to see it, and they can't pick it out. But nevertheless, that helper's left a bit there. A bit of his own essence if they want. And then he goes away. Now, we can't say time as themselves time, it's Spirit Light, but we can talk to about a difference of an altercation happens. Now then to it might take 2,000 years. Time is only time here. Time it's Spirit. And when that happens, that young man, whoever he is, begins to stir, went out, begins to re-emerge if they want, out of cocoon that it's made for itself. And when it begins to show some sort of life, no, that bit that young helper left responds. Because it's the only positive thing that's with him. And when that responds, that helper, no matter where he is, no matter what part of Spirit he's in, will feel it, because it's part on him. And what he'll do then, he will be fatter than quicker than wink. He'll be there, straight at pool. No matter what black thoughts are in there, he's got to go in. That's his duty. And he'll pull that out. He'll pull that black thought out, because it's part of it is responding. He'll pull it into the light. And that light will start to shine. And it'll shine as he brings it further out. And as he brings it further out and further out, it'll start to light a bit more. And he'll take it so far, and then somebody else will be waiting for him. And he gives that then to another dutiful person, it's Spirit Light. And he takes it from there, and he takes it to heal. And that takes a while as well to see. That same process goes right through until purification's complete. But as far as there knows time, believe thee me, it takes some time. So that's best I can tell thee of what I know about it. All right?
Yes, thank you.
Sanda coming, yes? Yes, Mr. Bellamy enjoyed talking with you there. Yes? Moisture Kanda, another one please. Moisture Kasanda.
People speak of the second coming of Jesus Christ, or the Christ, as
Moisanda.
some would say. Is this time now, or far off in the future?
Moisture Shanda, Postek Soti Sanda. Mausa, Sheta Sanda, Malikami. Hunbakisanda.
Mary, hello. Hello. Why are you talking with this? We're talking with this very important question, yes? Because of how you are now and because of your time, you have evolved to such a state where you come to what is called a millennium, yes? The year 2000 magic figure. But remember this, when you talk of the millennium, it is man-made. It has no other purpose to itself other than man created time, thus created the millennium. People seem to have in their minds in the conscious and subconscious states that somehow all will be right. When we come to the millennium, all these things are going to be wonderful. Man has mistreated himself and his beings upon this place. That cannot be eradicated just because man invented and created 1 year called 2000. We have born within this many things. We create this world 2000 to you simply because it is the beginning, as you know, and realize religion. Yes, because of a person who through the recorded history of yourselves called Jesus the Christ, yes, who came here, yes. What we will envelop into this thing is that within this circumference called you go globe, there have been and will continue to be many such God-men. They are enveloped and embroiled within this soul structure. But you have had Buddha, yet another great soul structure. We could go on to many things, great personages, who even today are creating such great beauty and essences. But however, Jesus the Christ, as you call this, yes, what we can explain to you is this. Within this place, this figurement you call the world, we have a coordination with it from the Spirit, for we have always been here. From its correct identification and its first creation, we were here. We molded this place. It was seeded from the Spirit light. Therefore, we have a great interest within the divinity of this place. It is felt at this time in the higher echelons of the Spirit that formation which we have created here is not responding correctly to that which it was intended to do. The manipulation of this place was meant to create and be created through and via materialistic thought, to override it by the spiritual thought. Thus we would hope in this great environmental structure to recreate spirit again, to absolve that which were created, to diminish it, to make it vanish. If there is such a plan, that is the plan of the light. That is God's plan, to eradicate materialism here and bring about it the spiritual essence, where it will be conjoined with us and become one. However, within this function, it now appears very strongly that within the Spirit there must become now more functional along this line of thought called the material world. Thus you will find born and created within this structure, not because of the word 2000, but because of the hierarchy of the Spirit light, who have now envisaged such a time that not only one God-man shall come, but many there shall be created and are at this time being born into these lives here you call human species. Such divinations, the likes of which this planet has never seen. You ask initially, was Sanda walking this earth? No. The peoples who now born into this place also have never walked this place before. They have never walked into solid world before. They now come here and be part of this light to give it a greater density and intensity. There are some here young enough to realize and hope that these coordinated peoples will coordinate together and unify such a source of light, the likes of which have never been perceived. Others who are here will openly watch this from the Spirit light and be in the gallery, so to speak. But know of this, it is to be. That which you call the Jesus Christ. There is in the Spirit light such things and such peoples as you know as angels. People here going into the Spirit light do not become angels. Angels are. The Jesus people are. They are people within the Spirit light. They are a creative energy field through which the God force emanates. There are many such people coming to this place to give it a light. They will not be known under that name, but they will be known as the Spirit. Thank you. Shukatunda, Moista, Moista. Stand coming. Another one, please.
Thank you. Thank you. Is Alan still there, or has he moved away?
Poishanda Poista. This one.
Yes.
Correction, yes. Poishanda Poista. This one, yes. We removed him, yes. To such a point that he can return whenever he wishes to be coordinated with you again, yes. Never a time, sometime, when always he goes with you. Always he with you. Always he with us. This time we're talking with you is not here at all. But he shall return very soon and be with you very swiftly. Once we decide the energy field from yourselves has begun to dissipate. But there will be times he will tell you this afterwards, when he will remember such things and not remember other things. Yes? Pashukosanda, Pointasanda. Yes? You understand, please?
Yes.
That is how sometimes we work with this one. Yes? This one was part of us before he came here. We're group souls. We duty together and have done, always. Yes? We are always here, all together. Shandapapoistapan. Sanda, enough of that, please.
Thank you.
Must to say that. Sorry to say that. Must agree with that. Yes? Must say that. Sorry. But we can be more specific when this one is here with you. It's better that way.
Yeah.
Shundapasunda, Sandapusanda. Apologies from the spirit life, but this is how we wish to be.
Yes.
Maiskoda, he has a right in his personality to give you this. Yes?
Yeah.
Moista, thank you very much. Puista, another one, please.
When one goes over, what is the transition like?
Moista can sanda puistanda. Oh wait, oh no. No. Moista. No. What's it like? We tried to tell the folk, we tried to tell the folk all different ways and all manner of means of how they do it, you see. They can go through it a million ways. They know, the snow, we see some folk, they come through all roads. They know, we tell what's about this fella come through, and he'd know what one leg does, see. And when he was here, he had a leg off. And he come into the spirit light, and he leg with here, to see. I'll tell you, just know how that happens. Would you like to know that as well?
Go on then. Yes.
Would they like enlightening about that? I'll tell you about that. No. What happened when they pass it into the spirit light? They're still getting form, shape, to see, it colour energy as the way they went that here, because it's formed itself over a period of time, to see. So when they goes through and that thoughts, as I've said before, they knows, their thoughts and their thinks of how they worked. They creates the self if they want. So if they had the leg off here, when they goes through, leg comes on. You see what I mean? So when they're going through, they had this fella goes through, to see, and he come through, he lost his leg here, and then he's going through, he's getting his leg. So he can't get on this. He couldn't believe it. He said, "I'd have come through the fella, to give me a leg back." Anyway, as we're going along, and they're taking him through, to see, and it all changes, to see. In more folk it changes, and there becomes, if they want, essence. For want of a word, there becomes essence. That's only a word that can talk about. So then, that which were thee doesn't become thee. There becomes something else. You see? That becomes essence. Now, this fella said, that weren't right clever, were it? He said, I had one leg when I was there, I had two legs one, and then they take them both away there. See? So, he doesn't need them, to see. Because they changes so quick when they go to spirit light. That might be different folk, and that's shown how to change, you know, and when they get involved, they wait for them, to see. They get involved in different things. There are folk they knows who passed over. They can call it. Let's talk about. They talks about years, don't they? And then there's folk passed over 100 years ago, and they still do it same thing. If they want, they still in Blackpool. They still going up and down up trams. It's it thought, to see. They can do what they want. when that's here, they can do what they want. They call it meditation. They can go a million miles away from here. Then air moves. It's not but body that stops this. When they haven't got that, that's it spirit, they can do what they want. That's allowed to do this. And when that spark comes in, we go off the spark, you'll see. Then as soon as we get that spark, we're in. But there's some folk and they're telling, they know, now past the Stockport, 1923, something round about there, if I knew I can tell you. Just see? I can still halt it late and I can still change and I can still see them still there. They're still set up same forms then, and I've seen them. When I pissed into the spirit, and we walked past them folk, and they acknowledged us, you see. But they looked at us a bit strange at being there, Billy, and this young man who come for us. But we'd tell that story anyway, we'd done that. But they looked at us a bit funny, you see, but I can go back there, then they won't see me then. But I can see them. And they're still walking up in that same street, they're still going to the same chip shop. Because that's all they have in their mind at the moment, as they call them moments. Well, that light will come eventually. Like we're telling about your man in Blackpool to see, that light comes. And then goes into spirit sweeter than nut. We no worries about that. But some folk just see, majority of folk, they're quite happy and they go right into light because just know, I'll tell you something else now. How about, I'll tell you this. They knows when there's getting somebody who's wait it pass over here, and they're seeing them, they wait it go and so on. And it's called hallucinating. And they're saying, hey, our friend's there, hey, my Aunt Nellie's there, and they're saying, oh, they're seeing things now. Just see? They aren't seeing things, they're getting closer to light. They see, oh, light's changing, energy's changing from them. And they're beginning to be in two worlds at once if they want. And they talk about to the side. They're not to the side and this side if they want at the same time. But they always knows this, when that's happened on that deathbed, as they calls it, they can guarantee that they won't be long before they go through to the spirit light, because they can come for them. Just see, they can gather them in. And then go through, no trouble whatsoever. Just see, and then that's come for them. They've been in spirit long enough to know what to do, they know how to change and think how they were. Think how they were. Lovely. They can think how they were. They don't get embroiled eventually and they get too far away to think how they were. Because they goes nearer to the light, you see. But that's another story we'll tell you. Right. I'll start leaving there, because Sandra's saying I've got to go. I'll start to go. Should have come to that. Sandra coming, yes? Sandra coming.
Is this always someone, is there always someone there to meet us on our transition?
No, that's that coming again here. There's folk talking about different things, about who their guides are, who the helpers are. They're always with me, I'm getting a guide. They're with me all my life. Then that's a load of nonsense. They can't imagine walking round with a fellow walking behind you all the time. Think about it right. It's spirit like we've more jobs to do than that. But what we're getting to do, what we're getting is quickness at thought. I keep saying this and it's true, it keeps coming to thee. As they thinks we're there. They're protected at all times. But they gain a choice because there's free will. There's getting pathways to walk here. Now then we can help thee. We can talk to thee. We can cajole thee. We can come into what they call conscience and prick it. We can be inspiration. We can be a lot of things then, us. Because we're always there if they eat. We're a thought away, that's all we are, just that thought. Quick as a wink, I can be there. I'm talking to thee now. If somebody wanted me that were more important than talking to thee, I'd live this one, I'd go, I'd shoot off, I'd be away, I'd be there in a crack. They talk thousands and millions of miles, we talk distances they couldn't envisage. There's no idea, there's no conception of what wetness it's like, but they talks about eternity and eternal than us. There's such a vastness of essence here that they won't believe. I've been to the perimeter of this. I could have gone on then, I come back for it, lad. I come back to help him do this work because this is what we're getting to do. But over there, I've been there. I can tell you, I'll tell you about it. I've been there. And there've been changes. And there is changes. Because when they go to out to leak, then also they changes. They becomes who they are. Let's tell you something else, I know then also. We're getting a bit serious here. Then also there's helpers, and they give you the names. That name is what they'll accept at that particular time. When that's here on this place, there's a name, and it's given to them by the parents. There's some folk realise as they go through this life, they're not happy with that name, they don't feel right. And they change it. And when they go to spirit, same thing happens in there. They sometimes have a different name than what they're called here. In fact, they mostly has a different name than what they're called here. So we think on these things, you see. That's only aware of one perception at any one time, you see. Until they get clever at spirit, and that goes through, and that advances through, and they learns how to turn light on, and how to change the embodiment, and how to change the energy, and how to adjust colour. Then all there's getting here, to put in some concept of it, then all there's getting the place here where they lives. Here in just this little place we're talking now, then us, we're aware of this because they can see parameters around where colour is. But we're getting to do, what we're getting to do is put a barrier up. Because there's all sorts of thoughts and things going through here. Electrical impulses, as they call them. Energy fields, all sorts. And we're getting to nullify them so we can do this work. And this is one reason why we use the high energy. To do this, to put that barrier up. Now when that barrier starts to break down, as it is doing, then we're getting to withdraw. Then we're getting to pull back. Then we're getting life to carry on as it is for thee. And all we're doing is giving the thought something to think about, something they might not have thought of before. Enrich thee if we can. And all we're doing is telling the spirit, telling the all about spirit as far as we can, as far as we know. We don't know all things then, us. We only know what's in our periphery. That's all we know. And we get in task. A lot we get in task. Because we don't know everything. There ain't one individual knows everything. So we get in task, just like you ask. Just like you're asking now, and we're hoping we're answering these questions for thee. Chunda boss, Sunda. Sunda coming, yes? Bash Sunda, Sunda coming, yes? We have one more question, please. Energy is beginning to dissipate, yes? We come to Tanta, Sunda. Moist Sunda.
If you're spiritually aware, is it easier to come back?
Boys Sunda Funda Sunda.
Malik coming with you, yes? Malik saying this to you. Is it easier to come back? Many of your people do not wish to come back. We have within our concept many avenues of the thought where we can go back to. People talk of this life as if it is the only one you have, apart from the spirit life itself. There are many divisions within the energy fields of the light. Only you know of this one perception, this one spirit world, as you call it, within the confines of what you know as a material world. We bring you this to think on. Within the divinity of what is called God, within the law of the energy of love, the what coordinated such places as this, manifold. Each of it has its own individual spirit light, if you will. If you can think of any perception of number, and think of any perception of spirit lights, coordinate and co-join them together, and you have an eternal vastness beyond the comprehension of anyone's soul. And it is only the coordination of the whole that can take it in its trueness. That is the essence we call God. That is the light by which we see. That is the truth of which we speak. And that is the love that we try to bring to every soul we speak to. We must begin to receive now, for the energy is beginning to break up. We have enjoyed ourselves with you. We have coordinated and commingled with you in thought and using sound. The sound waves seem to have been very conducive to your thoughts by the color eminence you have given. We therefore leave you and ask that you rest in light. Bless you, children of light. Chugutath and the coming. We go now. We thank you very much for being with us. We return to our place of light.